Hello lovely crafty people, and welcome to the Crafty Purple Frog channel. This is a video for the Sweet November Stamps Halloween release 2023. I am so excited for you to see this release. There are 13 amazing stamp sets, lucky 13 for Halloween. This hop you have the chance to win the entire collection. You can join in until the 16th of August, so today is Sunday the 13th of August, and you can join in until the 16th to win the prizes. I'm just starting my card now. I'm going to do a bit of ink blending for my background, so I've just torn that piece of Effie Doodle tape to give me a bit of a rough edge, and I've lined it up to where I'm happy with it on my card. I'm now using some scrap bits of paper just to mask off the rest of the card so I don't get it everywhere, and I'm using one of the previous Halloween releases, this scene builder, to give me a nice bit of ground there for my character to be standing on when it's all finished. Just stamping a couple of times because my ink pad isn't the juiciest, and where I've layered up those papers as well, it just adds a bit of a buffer to stop the ink from getting down properly. So now I'm masking off the rest of my card again, masking off the bits that I am not wanting to get my ink blending on, so I'm covering up that bit I've just stamped with some more scrap paper. And I'm going to put a little bit more scrap paper just down the side there as well, because knowing me, I would otherwise get ink all the way down the side of my card, and that is not what anybody wants. So now I'm going in with my Distress inks and my blending tool, just blending in some ink there. That's fossilised amber to start off with, just to give a nice yellow glow at the bottom, almost like a sunset. And I'm just taking my orange, change my brushes over to an orange brush. I'm just going back in again with that fossilised amber just to blend that out against the ripe persimmon. Now I'm going in with some red up at the top there, which you can just about see at the top of my card, and I've just realised it's off camera, so I'm pulling it down for you. And that's candied apple that I've gone in with at the top there, and the ripe persimmon again, just to blend those two out. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of Distress spray picket fence, just to give some white dots around the place. I never tend to spray these, I just take the top off like this and flick to get a bit of interest in some of those flicks. If you don't have that, you can easily just use your own ink pad or any other white paint that you've got, just water it down, use a brush and flick from there. So that's a lot of my background already done for me, just that quickly. I'm just going to tidy up my desk so I don't get the ink everywhere, and start with some colouring. So if you saw my video before with the Sweet November stamps for the last top, I'm doing a very similar thing here, using C6 to start off on the ground and do some dark lines all over those pavers to just give them a little bit of texture, just random squiggles. Then in with my C4 as my mid-tone, just to get into sort of draw all those colours out, merge them in a little bit more, and then I'm going to finish off with a C2 just to colour all of them in fully, and again just blend all those colours back in together. In between the cracks there, just for that little bit of mortar, I'm just going to use a W2 just so it's a little bit different, and I don't want to distract from the little image that I'm going to do, which is this cutie right here. I mean, how adorable is he? I just had to use him. So I'm starting off with B34, just colouring in his little dinosaur or dragon outfit there, putting in a little bit of shade, and I'll just leave you to watch this through and see where I put all my colours. Hopefully, if you want to, you can follow it yourself. Just going back in with that darkest colour at B34 just to add a little bit more texture, and I thought I'd lost some of the definitions. I'm just going back in with that now just to add a little bit of that back in, just give it a little bit more of a 3D effect. It's a bit hard to see when these little caps come out. It's an E35, and I will have all the colours listed for you as well down below, so do check there if you want the whole list of the colours that I've used for this video. I'll have a blog post as well about it. So I wanted him to have some nice dark brown eyes, but then I felt like I lost the black for the centre of the eyes a little bit, so I'm just going back in with my Memento black pen there just to darken them back up again. I'm just using a tiny bit of E42 just to give a little bit of shading on those other areas, his teeth and his claws. A little bit of B00 just on his eyes. Now it's time for the fussy cutting, and yep, there are my big scissors again. I just can't use anything else really. I can't, my hands are too big I think for the tiny scissors. Realised I missed those little tops of his little spikes there and a little bit of his neck. So I'm just working out where I wanted to place him, and then I'm going to move on to my sentiment after this. Just do a nice border around my card as well. I like doing edges around like this, just drawn, and I do just eyeball them, so they're not always exact, but I'm happy with them. I feel like they just finish my card off, just add that little bit of extra something to it. It's quite a simple touch, but it just seems to make a difference to me. So I'm just deciding where I want everything, and I'm gonna make this little tag die here black, just so that it pops out from everything else a little bit more. Clearing up my desk again to make sure I don't get everything everywhere. I'm just realising here that I haven't quite gone far enough down my tag with that black ink, so I'm just going to fill it in again, but I don't really want to get the ink all over my desk, so I've decided to do it this way around. But as you can see, it takes a little bit longer, which is why I normally just swipe onto my mat. I'm going to use my Collal glue to join these two up now. I like this glue because I get a little bit of wiggle time, so I can make sure it's where I want it before it sticks. And I'm just looking at whereabouts on my card I might want to put my sentiment. just at the top there. Again, I get that little bit of wiggle room just to make sure it's straight, and I can just tidy up the edge so that it lines up with the card. I'm going to use a bit of this larger foam tape to pop him up a little bit. I love this because I can just cut it to whatever size I want and fill in all those little areas so that he's nice and secure and doesn't get pushed around even if he goes in the post. And that is a quick card pretty much done. Just going to add some of these little Nouveau drops, add a little bit of shine, a little bit of sparkle and some dimension to it. Just trying to get rid of those little peaks that it gets otherwise by doing that little circular motion. Doing different sizes just so it gives a bit more interest. I'm quite happy with where they all are now, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glossy accents for those eyes up there just to make them really shine, and look, again, a bit glossy and 3D as well. When that dries, that will dry clear, as you'll see in the pictures in a moment. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget that there is a chance to win this entire release, so it's well worth hopping along and leaving comments and likes on all of the other hot participants. Again, you'll find a list down below. Thank you so much for supporting me and watching this video all the way to the end. If you'd like and subscribe, that would be brilliant. Thank you so much.